Okay, everybody, my name's Craig Schulze. I'm a Diamond Director with Jeunesse Global, and I'll be your host for this week's Diamond Training. And this training here, I did a convention a couple of years ago, and it also throughout the power sessions, but it's an amazing training, and I really wanted to revisit that for this week's session because it's a training that you can give to someone in, no experience in the industry, because really this is all about putting together a 5-year plan, putting together a 10-year plan, and making people understand that the journey will take time, like building assets. If you were property investing, wealth creating, whatever, often when you are building wealth, there's a time period, and a lot of people in today's society live in instant gratification. So when they come into network marketing as a business, they often look at this industry as something that can take, it's too slow. The first year, the second year, is a very slow period. So I like to, set people up so they understand the power of residual income. And I use that through a case study. And I guess when we take it back a little bit, most people are set up and programmed to be living in this 40-40 plan mindset, working hard for 40 years, to get ahead is really not sort of where I want to be. You're on this planet for a period of time, so give it your best shot and make sure you can give yourself the opportunity to live life on your terms. And in today's economy, with the access now to the internet, social media, smartphone technology, you can really set yourself up if you, at the right time with the right people, with the right vehicle to sort of get ahead and live life on your terms in a 5-year type of period. And for some people, you don't learn this at school. So you come through school and you don't know what you don't know. So for me, when I first joined this industry, one of my mentors took me through this case study. And straight away, by going through the case study, I could actually see myself, at the end of the journey, living life on my terms. And I sort of, I feel like, I am in a position at the moment where I can do what I want when I want, work from wherever I want, and it's been a journey to get to that period. But I still feel like I'm warming up, and there's many more chapters to go. But it's been a journey, and that's what we're trying to talk about here. And so I'm working with someone and they've got a full-time job, they've got a business, they've got lots of things going in your life. I say, well, why don't you put together this plan and treat your jeunesse income as like your rewards money or your lifestyle? Because most people will work for 12 months. They've worked hard, they've impressed their boss, they've got in front of their boss at the end of the year, they get to their review, they put their hand up, and no pay rise. This industry is an industry that can give you a pay raise every day. And Jim Rohn, says, you can work full time on your living, but you're also working part time on your fortune or your profits. So while you're building your business throughout this journey, you can really say, hey, I'm going to set aside this money as rewards money, as lifestyle money, as treats, whatever it is that you want to do. And that can really be a motivator to take you through the journey. So you're still able to live life as you normally do, pay all the bills through your job, but use this money as a lifestyle type of money. And that's one thing I'll often propose to a new person to the industry. While they're building their business, things can take a period of time, but I explain it very much to most people. It doesn't matter what you want to do. If you want to get ahead, you are going to have to take some time. And I'll use this as an example. And in Jeunesse specifically, it doesn't take a lot to generate residually $100, $200, $300, $500. It could simply be, you can do that in a month, residually, or in a few weeks residually. But then I'd flip it over and say, well, just imagine if you want to generate residual income through a different vehicle. So if you put $24,000 in the bank, 5% interest, that will also generate $100 in residual income. All right. So then I say to that person, well, how long would it take you based on your current circumstances to save up $24,000? It's often for most people a lot more than a few weeks or a few months and so on. Just take it a little bit further. Okay, if you want to earn $10,000 residually in this industry, that's about our Ruby Director level. And there are a lot of people in Australia, in my business, that have got up to that level in the space of 12, 24 months, even less than that. Some take a bit more than that. There's no guarantee on how long. It just really gets down to your determination, your work ethic, doing productive activity, but it's not an impossible task. What about if I said to you, if you had $2.4 million in the bank at 5% interest, and I'll challenge you to go out and find a 5% interest rate, residually off that $2.4 million, you can generate $10,000. Do you think there's many people on the planet that can save up $2.4 million in the space of 12 months? Not too many. So the point of the exercise is, if you want to be earning residual income of a certain type in this industry, you can certainly get to that level in 6 months, 12 months, 3 years, 5 years, whatever it is. It's going to be a lot easier than most other ways on the planet to generate income. And when you make people understand that, they can really go, yes, that makes sense. I can do that. What, $100 a month? That's just introducing one person to a package every single month. That's easy to do. A lot easier than $24,000 in the bank. So as a case study went, the guy explained to me, one of my mentors said to me, Craig, here's a classic example. Let's put it into perspective, a 30-day period. So I'm going to offer you the opportunity to get $100,000 every single day for the next 30 days, which is $3 million. Or today I'm going to offer you 1 cent, and that doubles every day, and cumulative you get that money. What would you take? And you sit there for a second, you start thinking about, okay, $100,000 worth 1 cent, that there just, I'll take the $3 million. And most people on the planet can see that because they're used to trading time for money. They see, okay, that's a quite easy to understand what 100,000, then 200,000, 300,000 versus about 6 cents on day 3, 8 cents on day 3. You can really sort of see most people taking option number 1. What I say to those people that do take that, they're often someone that is very happy trading time for money. They're often instant gratification types of people. What we're looking for in this industry are people with vision. Visionaries can see the big picture, and a visionary can quite often see a 3 to 5 year plan. They'll often see that this 1 cent that can double, that snowballs day after day after day after day, is going to be a lot bigger. All right. In this industry, you often have to find those people with vision. People that can see out this 3 to 5 year plan, people that can progress to jade, to pearl, to sapphire. They can go through the motions of their first group of people joining and then quitting. They can go through the motions of people that, you think they're going to do good, but they don't. Then you enroll another 5 people and you still get 5 customers. They're visionaries. They're the people that you're looking for. They will go through that roller coaster, over the speed humps, through the challenges, because they can see where they want to be in their 3 to 5 year plan. Now, this presentation, I'd often encourage anyone that hasn't been in this industry to share this, because it's going to be a recording for you to use as a business tool. And if I explain my story along the journey, and if I said to any person in Jeunesse, I ask the question all the time, I say, look, I'm a diamond director in Jeunesse now. I probably earn more money while I sleep at night than most CEOs in Australia. I've worked hard. I've gone through the journey of, enrolling your first person, your second person, your 20th person, your 50th, finding your first leader, helping that leader progress forward. I've been through that journey, but now I earn money 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And as you know, as a diamond director, most diamond directors are up around that 7-figure zone. Just imagine every person, if I told you to do exactly what I did in this business, enrolled the same amount of people, went on the same trips, did the same amount of webinars, turned up to the same amount of events, developed my skills, and in the next 5 years you could live life on your terms, the question is, would you do that? Every person in the room would say, of course I would. All right, so we look at this case study. So we've got a 1 cent that doubles every day and builds momentum versus someone that happy trading time for money. So what happens at day 2? It's doubled to 2 cents. So you combine the 1 cent and the 2 cent, you've got 3 cents. Now the person trading time for money has got his $200,000 in the bank. All right. We go to day 3, a 4 cent day. It's doubled from 2 cents to 4 cents. Combined total 7 cents versus $300,000. When you take it back to this industry, you've got, your friends that are saying, hey, that silly network marketing just doesn't work. You've only earned 7 cents. You've been in the business for a while. How's that working out for you? I've earned $300,000 going to my job, trading time for money. This is a type of emotions. This is a type of conversations that you'll go through along the journey of success. But the question is, would you give up? So day 10 of this case study, and we're going to break it into 3 sections. The first 10 days is your first year in the industry. The second 10 days is like a 2 to 3 years in the industry. And then we get to the 30th day and you're, at that 5-year period in the industry. So we get to day 10. The trading time for money person of this case study's earned their first $1 million. For you, the cent that's doubled every day and collected, on day 10 you had a $5.12 day. Combined total $10.23. Just think about that for a second. Most people that go on this journey, if they lack the vision of where they want to go, will give up. That's why you need to get them belief. You need to develop a why. Why are you doing this? If you get a no, will you give up? If you get someone that quits, will you give up? You need people that have that laser focused vision to see out the journey. They're the people we're looking for, because a lot of people would look at that mathematically and say, this just doesn't make sense. And that's why it's important to educate people on the industry. You need to build belief. This webinar is going to be an absolute rock solid business tool for you moving forward, to getting those first timers to see belief, because you won't learn this type of information at school. They just don't teach you this. They teach you an education to go on to university, and still at university they still do not teach this. You nearly have to go off on your own journey to learn this. So we're at our first 12 months in the business. You are working harder and when you're saying what I'm doing versus what I'm earning, the trading time for money just doesn't seem to add up at the moment. But the great thing about this industry, we go back to Jim Rohn's comment, you work full time on your living and part-time on your fortune or your profits. That's what you can do in this industry. It's called the magic of part-time. So you haven't had to risk anything. You haven't had to sacrifice anything other than a little bit of time, but that little bit of time is for your future to live life on your terms. All right? So that's why I say that profit, treat that as a pay raise every day. Treat that as your lifestyle money, your rewards money. If you didn't do this business, you wouldn't have that money. So, you really look after yourself. That's something that people may do to really encourage and inspire them. Because, as you say, back in your job, you work 12 months and you'll be lucky to get a pay raise in today's economy. We're going to fast forward to year 2 to 3 in this industry. But in this case study, day 20 is a $5,242 day based on that 1 cent that's doubled every day. So the combined tally, 10,485. The trading time for money person, $2 million. The question is, would you give up? And I look at 2 years for me in this journey, I was still at a Ruby director type of level. It was this time last year. This time last year I had a lot of personal things that, challenged me to a point that would throw most people, and over that 12-month period or a 6-month period, I went from Ruby director to Diamond director because of my vision. Because I had that will to win, because I wanted success way more than any sort of disappointment could drag me down. So I look at this case study, you're 2/3 of the way through the case study. That person trading time for money is well and truly in advance. But let's just have a look at what happens. In that period, that 2-year period, you have a foundation. You have a foundation of business leaders all on the journey. They're all at their year 1. They're all on their way to year 2. They are really building their own empires, and this compounding effect really does take place. And we always look at this, and we always look at a concept called the law of a few. And it doesn't matter what it is, in corporate career, in traditional business, in sport, the law of the few is, around 10 to 20% really do excel. And that is across every single industry, whether it's studying at university, business, your job, your career, whatever. That 10 to 20% always seem to do what's required to get to that level, and the rest don't. So this industry is, we're teaching you and training you to do what's required at this level to achieve greatness. And that's the law of the few. The 20% will, and then there'll be 80% that go, no, I'm not prepared to do that. And they'll just toil around and earn what I call their fair market worth. But let's just say this journey moves forward a little bit further, because the case study is starting to scarily get to the end of the 30 days, and you're starting to worry about, was this journey worth it? Okay, so day 25, something magical happens. That 1 cent that doubles every day has had its first day in history that's bigger than the trading time for money person. It's a $167,000 day. So in the space of 5 days, you got to think it's gone from, around 5,000 to 160,000. This is the compound effect really, really taking place. This is the rewards of what you were doing on day 1, catching up and all combining together. So, but the combined total is still 335,000 versus 2.5 mil. So we still don't have it back in our favor, but what we do have is a foundation that's really compounding now, and it's because of the work we did when the 1 cent went from the 2 cents, and so on. So we move forward to day 28. Day 28 is a $1.34 million day versus that trading time for money type of person, still getting up out of bed in the morning, jumping in the car through traffic, get, harassed nearly by their boss, or, go to a work environment they're not happy with, trading time for money. They are just edging ahead at the moment. This is a 2.6 million for the visionary versus a 2.8 million scenario. And you've got to think, this has all happened in the space of 3 days. In your business, if you jump up into that law of a few and jump in and do what's required for the ultimate success in this business, the magic can really happen in that year 3 and 4. And I'm seeing that with the next group of leaders coming through, the people that are going from a 100 cycle to a 200 cycle. They are having success at the moment that is just like, where's all this coming from? But 12 months before, they were saying, gee, this is slow, but the magic starts happening from 100 to 200 cycles, 200 to 500 cycles, 500 to 1,000 cycles. My business last year at this point was around 300 cycles. 2 months on, it was just past 500 cycles. 3 months on, it was over 1,000 cycles. You know what that means in terms of money in the business. All right, and this is where the magic happened. All right, so that 3 days is powerfully important. Day 29 is embarrassing for the person trading time for money. You are laughing at them because you're driving around in better cars, living in bigger houses, going on better holidays. You just walked out of your bedroom into your home office, and that's at the time that you want to get out of bed in the morning. You might have actually just walked around, had coffee with your best friends, played a game of golf, and then did a few phone calls along the way. You've had a $2.6 million day, 26 times more income in one day than the person trading time for money. Is it worth it? Is it worth going on that journey? Because the 40-40 plan is hard work anyway. Getting ahead is hard work anyway. Whether you choose to invest your small amount of profit in shares, whether you choose to build an investment property portfolio, whether you choose the retirement plan of putting more money into super, it is going to be a hard slog. Whether you get a second job, it will be a hard slog. So you may as well join the journey. And that journey can help you live life on your terms. It's an amazing opportunity, Jeunesse. It's an amazing opportunity right now in regards to timing. There's so many exciting things happen. I really feel like this is a year that will change many, many people's lives in this opportunity. So we get to the final day of the trading time for money. He's earned $3 million, $100,000 a day. Look what happened from day 29 to day 30. You've had a $5 million day. It's 53 times more than the poor old person trading time for money. Combined total in the space of a couple of days, on day 30, it was more than their 30 days combined. Doesn't matter which way you look at it. You can see from this case study that what the magic of the compound effect can really, really, really do for the business. And I encourage anyone that, you're not going to learn this type of what residual income is at school. When you understand it, you'd nearly run through a brick wall for it. And this is what the new age economy is providing for lots of people. The new age entrepreneur gets that. They don't want to go and mortgage their house and put $500,000 into a restaurant, a cafe, a gym, a traditional business. They don't want to do that now because of all the uncertainty around. But what you do give up in this to go on that journey is not money, it's time. So invest your time into building people, helping people, help people get what they want, and you can get what you want. If you're not getting what you want, it's enroll, and it's my answer to everything. Next 10 enrollments. Hopefully we find one person that sees the vision. Show them this audio, and this can really, really help you build your business. So this isn't a case study in regards to, it's not a math lesson or anything. I just want to explain to you what it means, what residual income means, and understand that building a network so you can live life on your terms, you need to have vision of a 3 to 5 year plan. And Aaron in the 90-day challenge group got people to post their vision boards, and some people post their vision boards and they've just really gone through and cut out a few pretty pictures of their family, a few pretty pictures of a car or a boat or something. It's got to really strike a chord. It's got to get right down into your heart. It nearly has to be something that will drive you, like an Olympic gold medal. People that spend their whole life to try and compete for that Olympic gold medal. They don't get it. It's another 4 years for another shot. And you'll probably only get 1, 2, possibly 3 shots at it in your sporting career. This here, that vision board needs to really strike a chord. And that'll keep you on the journey. You'll just keep moving forward no matter how many disappointments, no matter how many downs you have on your ups. You'll have as many ups as you do have downs. So it's really important to understand all that. Remember, on the first day on this journey, it is just you. It's just you by yourself. But then you enroll 1 or 2 people. Then you enroll 10 people. Then you become a jade, pearl, and a sapphire. Then you progress to a sapphire that's cycling 20 times, a sapphire that's cycling 50 times, a sapphire that's cycling 100 times. And then you have leaders that are doing the same. Then you have days where you cycle 10 times and you're going, hey, I was on a family holiday and I just cycled 10 times. That's why you really need to understand this concept. And I always paint this picture. Just imagine I built a business that's leadership driven. I've built a business of people that know what I know. I've built a business where I have 1,000 distributors in my organization that know what I know, that has got the skills that I have, that are trained, they work as hard as I work. Just imagine this for a second. If I said to 1,000 people that are absolute carbon copy people like myself, that are prepared to do the calls, go out there, run events, do everything, they know what I know. I said, let's do 1 hour of phone calls today. If I have 1,000 people that are carbon copy of me, I can produce 1,000 hours of productivity and I'm only doing 1 of them. When people get that as a concept, they really put a focus on building people, not sales. It's a really powerful way to explain the importance of this. So we now understand what residual income is. We now need to know, what will keep us on course. And the timing of this is really perfect because people have started that 90-day challenge. The start of the 90-day challenge will be the springboard for the rest of 2015 and beyond. So I really wanted to go through this with you. Make sure if you haven't taken the time to put together your vision board, you don't have direction, make sure you have something that you can look at on a daily basis that will keep you on the journey, whether it's family, whether it's holidays, whether it's a house, a location. I've been very good mates, best of mates with Aaron Biley for over 10 years. I've known his vision for over 10 years. In the space of 2 weeks, he will be one part of the way there, relocating to live life on his terms in the location that he wants to live. I know his vision's bigger and bigger and bigger than that, but that is, absolutely laser focused vision. And certainly working every minute of every day to live life on his terms, where he wants to live it and with who he wants to live it with. So with that, I'm going to wrap up this presentation. And as I always do, I'm going to stop the recording now. And I'm going to stay online and answer a few questions from people. So give me 1 minute to just grab a drink and then we'll answer your questions.